this is Tony from her Homestead Skills. And yes, I guess I have not been posting as often as I have been in the past little while. And part of the reason for that is because there's not too much going on. This is not the time of year that I do an awful lot of canning or preserving. I usually try to do most of that in the fall when there is a lot of fresh produce available. Not to say that there isn't fresh produce available now, there certainly is, but it's not local and it's transported, and some of it's quite lovely. But as I say, I've done quite a bit of mine in the fall. The summer and the fall is usually when I start to do that, like the rhubarb and the strawberries when they first come out. They're some of the first fruits of the season. And as they come out, as they mature, as they're available, fresh, that's what I like to process. Way into the fall where you get your apples and your pears and things of that nature. So to me, that is more of a fall type activity. So during this time of year, it's probably my slowest time of year ever. I mean, the Christmas rush is over, and it's too soon to start gardening. And I guess I could make a lot more pasta videos, but once you've seen one or two pasta videos, I think they're all pretty much the same. So anyway, I may make a few more of those in the future. But and the thrift shops, although I do attend the thrift shops here and there, out of boredom, I go to them now. But I'm either becoming a lot more selective about what I buy. I don't really want to bring a lot of stuff home that just gets put on the shelf and doesn't get used. And of course, there's no nice china anymore. I do find the occasional piece of cast iron, and I do find some that I don't buy. I don't buy pieces made in Taiwan, and I've seen quite a number of those recently. I don't buy some more modern manufacturers' products of cast iron. Usually what I do like to look for is the antiques or a really nice piece of lodge. Like I have picked up some nice lodge pans, and it's not so much that I'm partial to those, but they are good pans and reasonably new condition most of the time. And most of the pans that I do buy, or most of the skillets that I buy, are in fairly good condition. The odd one is really encrusted badly, but I have such a selection now, I can afford to be a little bit more selective, and like I say, I don't bother with the ones from Taiwan or from China, and there is an influx of, even Dollarama is selling the little ones that are made in China these days, little cast iron pans. So yeah, there probably are a few more pieces that I will pick up if I run into something nice. I have I have no issue adding to my collection, and I will do so if it's worthwhile. So other than that, I am starting to look at clothing in the thrift shops, which is something I've never done in the past, and a little difficult. It's a little difficult. Unfortunately, they closed their dressing rooms, and I can't commit to saying that this particular size will fit me, for one thing. I don't have standard body. I think none of us do, so I do like to try on clothing, and yeah, some of the ladies are quite willing to just try some things on, but some things you can't, and unless there was a very special piece that I could take home and then bring back, they have allowed you to bring something back if you don't take the original tag off and you bring the original bill within a 2-week period. So if it doesn't fit, you can do that because of the fact that they close their change rooms. Unfortunately, I might be the type that would just put it aside and not bother, or not remember to put it in my car again once I've brought it upstairs and tried it on. So, yeah, I'm a little particular about clothing anyway, to begin with. Has to be something in very good shape before I'll buy it. And I've seen all kinds of things. I've seen things with cuffs cut. And yeah, you have to be careful looking for clothing as well as any other item in these stores. So, not too much left to do. I am preparing for the garden, and I have signed my contract for the next year. And yeah, first we pay, then they send us the contract once we've paid the bill, and then we have to sign a contract every year, agreeing to certain terms and conditions that are set out, and I've signed that and sent it back to them, so it's a done deal. I've got a garden again for this year. I'm hoping it's the last one. I'm hoping next year, but we can always hope. I'm hoping next year that I have something closer, but we'll see what happens. So, still planting my garden, and I do have my sweet potato slips that I've put together the last couple of days. Nothing yet, it's still too early. And my bay tree is still looking lovely. I'm still happy with that. I wish I had gotten those grow lights a long time ago, but I've never used them in my, well, I shouldn't say that. I had the full 3-tier stand when I had my home. And when I sold the house, I gave that to my youngest daughter, who was definitely interested. I had a piano, and I had that 3-tier stand, and I said, you want them both? And she said, I'll take the plant stand, but forget the piano. I ended up leaving the piano there. It was just an old upright. And it's amazing how these old uprights are worth nothing today. You can pick them up for $150 at thrift shops, amazingly, or just about anywhere nowadays. You know, take it away, they're happy. So it was just too costly to have it moved, and too heavy and too awkward. Like, I used to take it apart to move it from one room to another, and I knew how to take it apart and put it back together again. But yeah, it was too awkward, so I left that behind, which is fine. I didn't have an issue with that. I never learned how to play it well anyway. So, yeah. So today I decided to go through the flyers. I didn't get any in the mail, and normally they would arrive Wednesday or Thursday, and the sale dates are always the Thursday for the whole week, starting Thursday for the week. And so no flyers arrived. So I got on my computer and I checked all the flyers. And let me tell you, there's not too many things on sale these days. I did find some olive oil on sale, and I had not bought any last week. So I thought that today I would go out and I would buy some olive oil. And there was butter on sale, and I bought a little bit of butter, and Mark wanted some more garlic bulbs. We had run out. And I was wanting to keep my eye on coffee, because in the flyer there was one store that had my coffee, the brand of coffee that I like, on sale for $18.99, and let me tell you, that used to be their regular price. There are 2 stores where I can buy that, and they're actually owned by the same company. And the one where they had it on sale for $18.99 is usually the one that, when they did go on sale before, had the higher price. And the other one, okay, so yeah, the second store where I normally bought it, because when they did put it on sale, they put it on sale at a lower price than the store that normally is their discount store. So today I specifically decided to see if they still carried that brand, because I have not seen it in their flyers for sale for months. And their regular price now is $25 and change, almost $26. And I'm like, whoa, no wonder it is no longer in the sale flyers. But I expect because the first store had it on sale this week for 18 and change, that it will be on sale in the other shop next week, and I have no idea what price they're going to put it at, but it's obviously going to be high. I have probably 2 packages left, so I'm in no hurry to replenish that at that price. You know, that is 25 is outrageous. 18.99 used to be their retail price before. Anyway, I have to adjust. I have no choice, but we have to adjust to our new prices. So I'm not going to do without coffee, but I don't know if I will stock up coffee at those prices. I may wait for, well, I may just get what I need when I need it, and hoping that prices do go down when next year, when there is a new crop of beans out. Now, I did manage, as I said, to pick up some olive oil. I decided, well, the best price I could get today was $7, $6.99. And I used to buy that for $5. So I did pick up 4 bottles, and 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I could have picked up another. Those are the current sale prices. Once again, I have to adjust to the current sale prices. I'm not going to, there are certain things I won't buy anymore. That's the case. I think that's normal. We pull back, but how much can you pull back? At some point you can't pull back anymore, and you can't say I'm not buying this and I'm not buying that. I just may not stock up. Now, I also took some pictures of some of the foods, and outrageous. A can of corn for $2, a can of peas for $2. I'm glad I canned my own. I think you can still probably get a better deal buying frozen corn and frozen peas, but I will not buy them by the can. And yes, you can buy them frozen and then can them up yourself, and I may do that. That may be something I do next week. We'll see. But I've always bought fresh corn in the fall, corn on the cob, and I'd strip them off the cob and make my own jars of corn. So I'm not buying them from the stores. And believe it or not, my jars of corn taste a whole lot nicer and fresher than even the frozen stuff. I always found the canned corn was always a little tastier. And when we used to use the frozen corn in the bags, we would always put a spoonful of honey in them, and it made all the difference. But you try to stay away from adding extra sugar to your food. At least I do these days. I'm trying to stay away from sweet desserts, and I'm trying to stay away from excess salt. Mark loves his salt though. But yeah, so anyway, I did go shopping, and I did make a note of some of the prices. Unfortunately, I used my phone, and a few of the shots were blurry, so I won't post them, but the ones that came out well, I will, just so you can have an idea of what Canadians are paying. Now, this is not the most economical store, but it's probably average. I wouldn't say that it is much higher or much lower than anything else. They had their sale prices on things, and they had their regular prices on things. So a lot of people shop there. They do well. As I say, it's not one of the, it's not considered a discount store, but it isn't that much pricey.
the wind.